We've got Satan on the line.
This is interesting.
I've had some questions for him all along.
We have Satan from Portland, Oregon, of course, of all things, wanting to talk to us on the line. Satan, you are on the air. Hello, Satan.
It is lovely to meet you guys.
Oh, I thought I was going to have to do a ritual there for a second.
How are we going to conjure him up?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you're going to show up. What's up, Satan? How's it going?
All right.
Homeschooling
and Dogma is what I really wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Because I feel like they are great opponents for truth, in a sense that they inhibit truth.
Okay. Interesting topic, Satan.
Homeschooling, he's talking about specifically?
Yeah, so homeschooling specifically, right?
Right.
Specifically homeschooling.
Okay, yeah, that's the note that I have here.
Because I went through homeschooling, and I got to tell you, it was as culturally exposing as a sealed container that you left in the fridge for a few years.
So are you? So I guess you're not pro homeschool. You're kind of anti homeschool. I'm kind of confused.
No, I just think I think homeschooling is a tool, but I just think just because the tool is out there doesn't mean that it's going to be used as intended. But some people use homeschooling for the intention of instilling dogma.
I think I've known many people over the years in my evangelical world that homeschooled, and a part of their agenda, probably a main part of their agenda, was to protect the kids from information that they didn't want them to have. And I think that's what you're talking about. Now, homeschooling, I think, to paint that with a broad brush would be to do a disservice to it, because there are people who are open-minded and may have different reasons for homeschooling, and they will expose their kids to all the information that's out there. So I think it can be an excuse to protect dogma if it really depends on the home, I think, and what the agenda of the parents are or whoever's doing the homeschooling, don't you think?
I agree very much.
Okay.
And I didn't mean to come across as painting all homeschooling the same, but
yeah, I know what you mean. It has that image, though.
As a tool.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It has that image.
I mean, a garden hoe could still be used to crack skulls.
It can.
Doesn't mean the garden hoe is meant for cracking skulls.
So I'll tell you a story about homeschooling. I got a Christian buddy of mine who took his kids out of school and wanted to homeschool. And I kind of asked him about that. And he said, well, in the public school, they were going over ancient Egypt and Egyptian mythology and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, what's wrong with that? And he was like, well, they started to make clay stuff in class, and they were making idols. And I couldn't have them making idols. So I took him out of the public school system.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I guess I could see where, if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, but it seemed like an interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're saying, Satan. It's so funny to say your name out loud.
Yeah, I didn't know Satan was homeschooled. I'm learning a lot tonight. I've got a pre-existing word in me. Yeah. Human history is only 1,000 years old. Satan was homeschooled.
This is enlightening.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying, and I think you're right. The overall image of homeschooling is by and large religious oriented, and it's designed to create dogma and to protect the kids from information the parents don't want them to have, like making idols out of clay and other religions and sex education and who knows what other evils the public schools will inflict upon our children. So yeah, I think you're right in that sense, and it's used in that ways many, many times in probably the vast majority of the instances.
Right. And that brings me back to the name I chose while going on the show. I don't
Wait, hold on. You're not Satan?
Anyone.
Okay.
I am not Satan.
Damn it. I thought we had him.
Jeez.
I wanted to make sure that no one is going to be able to pick out me amongst a row of names. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
When you have a culture built in dogma, you find that the reasons that people act are referring to dogma as a kind of cheat sheet. Time to sacrifice a goat. Time to abandon a kid. Time to, praise them and make them a head of the church. And it's what I love about protocols is that they help us cut through a lot of thinking about what to do.
Sure.
And a lot of reiterating or reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
But with Dogma, it says that this wheel cannot be improved on, in a sense.
Yeah, Dogma locks you into a time warp. It does, yeah.
Yeah, and that's so interesting because, again, talking about the differences between the way I was raised, like I wasn't part of that evangelical spirit.
Your Christian circle, I call it benign. It was a rather benign brand of religion in that it did not harp on dogma and certainty. The things that I'm opposed to in evangelical Christianity are laden with dogma and certainty. This is the way it is. There's no other way to look at this. This is the only answer. This is the only way. And it stifles creativity. It stifles investigation. It stifles open-mindedness, and it kills all that stuff. And so I'm very much opposed to that because it doesn't help us learn. It doesn't help us grow. It doesn't help us get better. I like what Maya Angelou said. She said, do the best you can until you know better, and then do better. And when, like the previous caller said, how can you change your mind, or how can you, I just learned a better way. I learned a better way to live, and I let the other way go. Dogma doesn't let us do that.
Yeah.
Certainty doesn't let us do that. It locks us into a place and doesn't let us out, and it tries to instill that on everyone else, and I'm really opposed to that.
Yeah, and as Dave was saying, there's multiple reasons why someone would choose to homeschool their kids. But if the reason is going to be, well, I don't want my kids exposed to any of these ideas that I don't personally like or I think is wrong. I think exposure to good ideas or wrong ideas is helpful sometimes. Like, it helps you kind of inoculate against like what's true and what's not true.
Well,
Like
I know atheist parents who teach their kids various ideas about religion. Here's what Christianity teaches. Here's what Muslim, and let the kids, you kids decide what you want. When you raise a child with an open mind like that, very, very few are going to choose any of those religions. They're going to think, wow, none of this makes much sense.
Yeah.
That's my observation anyway.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I feel the need to jump in to say that to expose a child to one religion is to indoctrinate. To expose the child to every is to inoculate. I think I butchered that quote.
No.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah. No, we got the. You're really Satan now.
Yeah, that was a Satan echo there.
We got that voice effect on. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Satan, thanks
That's not a voice effect. My room is very echoey.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah, that's inoculation. That's
I imagine.
Good.
I guess hell is or Portland, Oregon, the same place, right? Portland's actually pretty nice. I'm not gonna make that joke, but anyway,
It's not very religious though.
Yeah. Satan, thanks for calling in. I follow your Twitter. It's pretty good.
Yeah, you're very clever on Twitter.
Yeah, but I wish.
Oh, you're a liar.
Homeschooling.
Satan is the father of lies. You should know.
Right? Thanks for calling in. It's definitely an interesting subject to talk about, and I wish you well in hell. Yeah, continue doing what you're doing.
See you there.
Yeah. Tell Christopher Hitchens I say hi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Didn't expect to hear from him today.
That's right.
This is a highlight of my life.
Yeah. Well, you might see him pretty soon.
Yeah. So I'm told.
I'm so sorry.
So I'm told.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God. That's probably
That's so morbid, Dan. What is with you?
That's the most morbid joke I've ever done in my life, I think.
Hey, I get it all the time. I say them all the time.
Thank you for letting me tell that. That's great.
Yeah, just on that note, just today, Maria and I are coming in town, and she picked me up at the airport, and I was really hungry, and I said, I'm starving. I'm hungry. Let's find a place to eat. And she said, well, I've got some almonds. If you can, are you not dying? Are you? Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad you have such a great sense of humor.
Well, what are you gonna do? Right.
Well,